Shalom everyone, Shalom Israel partners, and welcome. Welcome to Israel. Yes, I'm back home in Israel and we're standing on the soil of a war zone. I can't describe it any different. This is Sderot, the southern town of Israel that was so brutally attacked on October 7th. I'm literally standing on what used to be the police station here in Sderot that was infiltrated and literally conquered by the Hamas terrorists on October 7th, on Yom Simchat Torah, on one of the holiest days of the Jewish calendar. And for hours, for 23 hours, the Israeli army, Israeli police, Israeli special units were trying to save the policemen, the policewomen that were hostages in this building, until eventually they understood that they're losing too many people on the attempt to enter into that building. They weren't able to rescue them from within, and they gave an order for the Israeli tank, which wasn't far from here, to destroy the entire building over the terrorists and over the hostages that most of them were already dead within this building. This is one of the saddest places in the whole of Israel. This town of Sderot, which suffered for so many years from Qassam, from rockets that were launched by Hamas from Gaza, which is not far from here. This town has been a peaceful place where people only wanted to live in peace. And for years and years, a whole generation of children had to spend their time in the bomb shelters. They had to suffer through the rockets raiding over this town for so many years. And eventually on that day, on the 7th of October, they were devastated by over dozens and hundreds of Hamas operatives, Hamas terrorists who came here with their vans, with their motorcycles, and they shot and killed people in the streets, everyone that I have seen outside, and they shot and killed the people here in the police station. Altogether, they've taken a toll of 71 innocent people that lived here in Sderot, Jews, Muslims, police officers, civilians, everybody that they could hit, they were shooting and killing dead on the spot. It was very hard for the high command to give the order to go and destroy the entire building. And now we're standing on a war zone. The building doesn't exist. There's only one little piece of the wall behind us. And a friend of mine who's now here with me visiting told me, look at the building behind. It's people's home. They must have thought that this is the safest place to live, right next to a police station. Unfortunately, it's not the case. The whole police station is now taken down, but just like the Jewish people has done all our lives throughout history, if it's under pogroms or inquisitions or Holocaust, we shall build again. We will rebuild, just like Nehemiah came back and rebuilt the walls of Jerusalem, rebuild the temple after it was destroyed by the Babylonians. We are a Nehemiah mentality. We are a reconstructionists. We are a people that will never let anything stay down and destroyed. As opposed to the enemies that we are surrounded with that worship death and destruction, we worship life and construction. And that's a promise that I promise you, because I know the resilience of the Israelis. I know the resilience of the Jewish people. I know the strength of many Christian communities that are standing together with us in the gap right now against anti-Semitism in America, around the world. Many of them came here to Israel on missions of solidarity, missions of support. They are major donors as well to some of the projects that are taking place right here. And I know that we should rebuild. Today, I'm not going to give you political news. I'm not going to give you any other news about a war and rumors of war is what's happening now You know what? We have a lot of these, and I will give it again to you next week. But now I want to concentrate in one thing. I'm standing on a soil that was shedded with blood of innocent people. And at this place, where the blood of your people are calling out to you, Lord God of Israel, you shall answer their prayers, and you shall help us rebuild, just like in the prophecies of the prophets of old. One day, people from all walks of life, from all languages, from all nations of the world will come to your land, to your mountain in Jerusalem, and they will call it the house of prayer for all the families of the earth. It starts with reconstructing the outskirts of Jerusalem, the land of Israel, the land that you promised to the Jewish people, and it will end up when you will rebuild your temple once again in Jerusalem for old men and women to sit holding their canes, walking in the streets. Children's laughter is going to go back here. We will restore the fortunes of Zion, and we will restore our resilience, and no enemy can defeat us ever. It doesn't matter who the enemy is, because the devil, the Satan, the adversary, he didn't call a war against Israel. He called the war against God. And when God is challenged, he knows how to deal with it. God will always prevail. I love you a lot. Shabbat Shalom, and I'll see you next week.